Nikola Tesla was one of the most brilliant minds of his time. He helped shape the modern world. He revolutionized electricity. He imagined technologies decades before they existed. And yet, he died alone, nearly forgotten, surrounded by unfinished ideas and unpaid bills. This is not a story about failure. It is a story about how being right does not guarantee being rewarded. Nikola Tesla was born in 1856, in what is now modern-day Croatia. From an early age, he showed unusual abilities. He could visualize complex machines entirely in his mind. He claimed to experience vivid mental images that appeared uninvited, fully formed, and detailed. These visions were not metaphors. Tesla insisted he could design, test, and refine inventions without writing anything down. This would later become both his greatest strength and one of his biggest problems. Tesla studied engineering and showed exceptional promise. But from the beginning, he struggled with authority, routine, and compromise. He was brilliant. He was also difficult, which, historically speaking, is not an ideal combination when funding is involved. In the 1880s, Tesla arrived in the United States with little more than his ideas and a letter of recommendation. That letter was addressed to Thomas Edison. At the time, Edison was one of the most powerful inventors in the country. Tesla was hired. This arrangement did not last. Tesla believed alternating current was the future of electricity. Edison disagreed. Edison preferred direct current and had built an entire business around it. What followed was not a scientific debate. It was a business war. And Tesla, despite being correct, was not particularly interested in playing it well. Tesla eventually left Edison's company. At one point, he found himself digging ditches for money. This was not symbolic. It was literal. The man who would change the electrical grid was digging trenches to survive. History does not always reward efficiency. Eventually, Tesla found support from George Westinghouse. Together, they pushed alternating current into mainstream use. Tesla's system powered cities. It won public demonstrations. It proved safer, cheaper, and more efficient. Tesla had won, on paper. And then, something strange happened. Instead of consolidating his success, Tesla moved on. He became less interested in refining existing technology and more focused on what came next. Wireless power, wireless communication, energy transmitted through the air, concepts that were visionary but difficult to monetize. Investors began to hesitate. Tesla did not help his case. He avoided publicity when it mattered. He gave it freely when it did not. He made bold claims without offering practical timelines. And he refused to simplify his ideas for investors, which, unfortunately, is how funding works. As the years passed, Tesla's public image shifted. Once seen as a rising genius, he began to be viewed as eccentric, then impractical, then unreliable. This transition happened quietly. There was no scandal, just a gradual loss of confidence from the people holding the money. Tesla continued to invent. He filed patents. He published ideas, but fewer of them became reality. His projects grew more ambitious and less grounded. Wireless global power transmission, weather manipulation, energy weapons. Some ideas were ahead of their time. Others were simply impossible with existing technology. Tesla became increasingly isolated. He never married. He avoided close relationships. He developed strict routines and personal rules. He claimed to feel discomfort around jewelry and pearl earrings. He counted his steps obsessively. He insisted on staying in hotel rooms with numbers divisible by 3. This was not eccentricity for show. It was how he lived. By the early 20th century, Tesla's fame had faded. Younger inventors replaced him. Companies moved on. The world used his ideas daily without remembering his name. And Tesla noticed. He continued to hold press conferences. These events often began with impressive demonstrations. They usually ended with grand claims about future inventions that never materialized. Reporters began to treat him less seriously. The tone shifted. Respect became curiosity, then skepticism. Tesla spent his final years living in New York hotels. He survived on modest stipends and occasional payments from supporters. He fed pigeons in the park. He developed a particular attachment to one pigeon in particular, which he described with unusual affection. This detail is real. It is also deeply sad. When Tesla died in 1943, he was alone. His room was filled with papers, notes, and incomplete designs. The government seized many of them. Some were returned later, others were lost. What remained was a reputation suspended between genius and obscurity. Today, Tesla is celebrated. His name is attached to companies, units of measurement, and popular culture. He is recognized as a visionary. But recognition came late, too late for him to benefit from it. Nikola Tesla was not wrong. He was early, he was uncompromising, and he lived in a world that rewarded execution more than imagination. His life raises an uncomfortable question. If someone can change the world and still end up forgotten, what does success actually mean? Tesla imagined the future clearly. He just could not convince the present to follow him. And in the end, the world caught up, just without him.